I really hope that more people would be willing to work openly, so more activists, more civil society organizations. I think this is really important. Everything that we are trying to do right now is to open up our formats, open up our artworks to anyone to use or adapt. And imagine if we live in a world where more or most organizations are doing this. Imagine how much access to resources we would all have. Imagine how little repetition there would be whenever we're trying to, run a campaign that was successful in a specific country in a different context. So this is my hope for the future, more openness. One of the things that we do is that we create these open formats at the intersection of various disciplines, and another format that we do is called labs, and there we bring artists and technologists, we pair them into person teams, we give them a task, so we brief them on a human rights topic again, and then they have 48 hours to come up with a prototype that lies somewhere at the intersection of art and tech. And the ideas that are born at this intersection are absolutely amazing. They're like nothing that we activists can come up on our own. And that's why I see such an immense value in this kind of cross-disciplinary, cross-sectoral collaborations. The first winner of Labs is a project that is designed by an artist, a drummer, and a technologist. They came up with this concept where they use drums as the vehicle for their message. And what we did with this is two directions. On the one hand, we put the drums in a gallery where we triggered the drums with voices of survivors of domestic violence we collaborated with. When people would come to the gallery, we would just tell them, when you sit on the drum set and start beating, you're going to hear in your headphones hear the voices of survivors. But then when people would do this, they would actually hear survivors' screams, and this provoked huge empathetic experiences, and these people later became the actual ambassadors, to their friends and their families of this project. But the other thing we did with these drums is there was a case in Bulgaria of a woman who was murdered for 50 minutes in her apartment one night, and the neighbors either not ringing the bell or not calling the police. They later told the press that yes, they heard her screams, but they didn't intervene. So we rented the apartment underneath the one where this woman was murdered. We brought the drum set there. And we wanted to measure for how long it would take for someone to ring the bell once we just simply start playing drums in this same community, same neighbors. So what happened is that the answer to this question, as opposed to the 50 minutes that took for no one to do anything, after 1 minute and 52 seconds, there was already someone at the door. Playtivism is our concept of the value of creating spaces for multidisciplinary play in activism. Spaces for play, for experimentation. The reason why play is important is that play, on the one hand, can really help with the very high levels of burnout and depression in activists. On the other hand, when we cross these different disciplines and we play, amongst each other there, these are the spaces where really great ideas are being born. So that's why, also when we play, others want to join, others want to support us. If we just approach the really grave issues that we're trying to tackle in this super serious and super depressing way, this is not going to attract more supporters, and this is not going to make us feel better. This won't give us the fuel to go on, and that's why I'm really advocating for playtivism. There are numerous studies that confirm what makes people care, like scientific studies by behavioral, cognitive, and neuroscience, and they all confirm that opinions are not changed through more information, but through empathy-inducing experiences, that art can trigger empathy, that visual language works much better than abstract concepts or dry facts, and all this all this confirms something that we believed in before, that art is one of the most powerful ways in which you can translate really important human rights messages in a way that makes people care and compels them to act.